So like, what difference has this made in your life? Come closer.
That's a loaded question. It's made so many changes for me. Well, weight loss, no aches and pains in my body. I never had any health issues other than depression. And I've recently, in the last 6 months, gone off of my depression medication. I was on Zoloft for years and years and years.
Now, I think that's huge because I hear women that have been on these medications for years, decades even, and they feel afraid to come off them. So how did you know? Like, how did you come in yourself? How did you feel that strength or that knowing?
Well, I read a lot about it. I just tried to educate myself a lot about depression and what it was, and a lot of the doctors that follow plant-based diets say a lot about, you can go off of depression medication. And I was afraid to because I think the majority of my life I was depressed, and I just didn't trust myself that I would be okay going off of it. But after educating myself about it, and I went ahead, I just weaned myself off. I didn't go to the doctor like I should have.
With your doctor.
I should have done that. But I did it, and I actually am doing well. For the last 6 months, I have ups and downs, but they're not, I don't want to kill myself. I don't want to kill somebody else. I'm handling life well. I'm going to work, and like I said, I have ups and downs, but it's okay. I have just gotten to be okay with some ups and downs, and
I think that life is up and down. We were talking about this.
Yeah.
There are highs and lows. We feel hurt from a friend. Our spouse pisses us off. We worry about a bill. These things are true, and they're real, and it's okay to feel them. And there's so much pressure to like be happy all the time.
Yes.
And we don't have to feel that. If you look in nature, there is, the sun and the moon, the dark and the light, the winter and the summer, the hot and the cold, the rose and the thorn. There's ups and downs, high and low, and these are all just part of life. And as women, I think we feel these things very strongly.
Yeah, I think that's very true. I mean, being a mom and a wife and now a grandma, and then still going to work and, just feeling like there's a lot on my plate a lot of the time.
You're a nurse.
Yeah, and it's kind of okay. I have gotten okay with it, and I've found other ways to make me feel better.
What are some of those ways that you make yourself feel better? Besides cooking all the yummy foods.
I love to cook.
She loves to cook.
I love to cook and I love to eat. Just being outdoors, and I tell you what, one thing that really made a difference is going outdoors with my shoes off.
Earthing.
And feeling earthing.
It's called earthing.
Oh, I didn't
You
know
didn't
that.
know that?
But that feels really good. It just feels good to be outdoors. And I'm from the north, so being even in the winter time, just going outside and taking a walk really revitalizes me, and it makes me feel good just to be outside and getting fresh air. Really, it's just real simple.
Really simple. It does not involve an hour-long workout with a personal trainer until you die.
No.
It's just getting out in the sun and the fresh air and just taking a breather.
Yeah, and it's not real time consuming. Yeah. It doesn't have to be, hours. It can be 30 minutes. It can be 20 minutes.
I tell my clients it could be 10 minutes. Go
10
outside,
minutes.
walk around the block, and that is all you need to do in the very beginning when you're not used to it. That's all.
Yeah, and you know what? It passes. It's not like you're not going to, I find out I'm not going to feel bad, forever. It's going to go away, and I'm going to feel better. So
that's so true.
Yeah.
So I hope I hope that some of you can feel some relief or some, you know, some really relief that as you move forward with this way of eating, that you really can relax and you really will feel better. And that, what do you think it is about your journey that helped you feel better to where you were like, you know what, I don't think I need these meds? Like, I mean, we know that there's an anti-inflammatory nature of the food. So that works in your brain and in your neurological system. So there's that. But what else helped?
Gosh, I guess for me and following this way of eating, it's just like, this is what I've always supposed to have been doing. And I always wanted to eat differently. I wasn't really, I never really thought about animals and all of that stuff. I just wanted to do it for weight loss. But as I educated myself more and learned more, I just wanted to be good to myself.
Wow.
And I didn't want to rely on doctors and hospital. I don't want to be that person. I see people doing that all the time. And it breaks my heart, because people shouldn't have to live like that. And I didn't want to live like that. And it's really hard. It's a hardship for everybody to live like that. And I just didn't want to go down that path.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it's helped me so much. I think it's just made me be more of me instead of,
yeah,
being a sick person is a cookie cutter thing in this day and age. Everybody has a lot of health issues, and I didn't want to be that.
I totally can relate to the part where this way of eating made me feel like more of me, being more me. And when you can be okay with yourself, I think that allows you to know that you're okay, and it allows you to come off of that kind of medication.
Yeah, and really last summer was the biggest realization for me because I drive a lot. I do home health care. I drive a lot. I did a lot of driving in Indiana where there's a lot of farming. There's a lot of factory farms.
Oh, you saw the
factory
CAFOs.
farms.
Oh.
And it's knowing that what I'm doing and how I live is helping the planet everything unravels. Everything's unraveled for me. And I'll know I'll never go back to that again. I mean, sometimes I need reminders because there's so much junk out there, but there's so much, I mean, to go out to eat with my husband, sometimes I just feel like an alien because everybody's eating their meat and and I'm just like, I'll take a big potato.
Yeah. Yeah. So I hope that you guys can kind of relate to that or find some solace in that. And the other thing I wanted Nan to talk about is, what was it like with your husband? I know that a lot of you who are mothers and wives will say, oh, my husband will never eat this way. My kids will not eat this way. I have to cook 2 meals. How did you handle that? And so in my weight loss program, we work on that all the time. We figure out, what are you going to do about that? How are you going to do it with love? That's the most important thing. So what did you do with your husband?
Well, I wanted to lose weight, and I had done all kinds of stuff to lose weight, and I always gained it back. And I was telling my husband, because I was going to join Naomi's weight loss group, and I said, I want to join this vegan weight loss group. And he goes, you'll never do it. It's like, you'll never accomplish it. And I'm like, oh, I just wanted to kick him. And so I just walked away, and I thought about it. And then a light bulb went on that night. And the next day I said to him, I know that you want to support me in my weight loss. And he does. I know he does, even though he doesn't do it right. I mean, he'll want to slap something out of my hand. But I said, I know you want to support me. And I said, this would really help me if you would do it. I said, if you would make your own food and let me make my food, I said, that would just help me so much. And I feel like that would help me be successful. And he's agreed.
And
So,
he does.
And he still does today. And it's been 2 years. Not that I haven't had to say, hey, because, you know, he'll say, would you go buy some pork chops at the store? And I'm like, no. And he says, will you make that gravy that you make? And I say, I will make a gravy, but it's not going to be that gravy. And so I've just had to stick to my guns, and he has been a trooper, and he's done it for me.
I think that your success with this way of eating, that your success with navigating your husband, your success with changing your job and finding one that works better for you, that was a big deal. When she was going through the program, she had a job that had you working 12 hours a day or 10 or 12.
It was ridiculous. I mean, 5 days a week.
And it was really, really difficult for you to speak up. And through this whole thing, you found a job that you love. You navigated your husband. You lost weight. You felt better. And I think all of those things contributed to you having less anxiety and feeling less depressed about things.
Well, now that you say that, because I think all of those things accumulated and helped me deal with my depression, or, you know, help it go away, or, you know, whatever. That was probably part of it.
Those were the things causing it.
Yes.
Problems with the husband, problems with the job, feeling like you couldn't speak up, problems with the food that was hurting you and that it really wasn't the way you wanted to eat. So once you came more in line with who you really want to be, you weren't so depressed.
I think that's true. I think that's huge. I mean, it is a chemical thing in your brain, but your thoughts and your behavior make those chemicals too.
So that's what I really wanted you guys to hear Nan talk about, because I think it's so important. And when I have these plant power calls with women, every single one of them is on depression and anxiety meds, and I want to help with that. This way of eating can help with that. And eating animals hurts our psyche, our mind, our hearts, and our physical bodies. And so I want to help with that. Thank you for sharing your story.
And, man, Naomi has been awesome. She talked to me on the phone, and it was amazing. I just have to say it was very, very nice.
Well, you know what? You did the weight loss program. You came to every meeting. You did every worksheet, and you spoke out. Because a lot of times as women, we try to hide these feelings. I remember having to say, so what did you think about that? And you would be like, what do I think?
I had no idea I just knew that I put myself last. I just put myself last, I think, or, you know, didn't think what I thought or how I felt was valid. And that's bad. That's not good.
That hurts our hearts. That's what it does. So she did all the work, and she did all the things, and she kept with it. You kept talking to me, and she came to the cave snorkeling retreat a year ago, which we're having on October 23rd. And she's going to come again because she's going to be here. So Trisha, let me introduce you to Trisha. Trisha's coming. Where is she?
Hi, Nan. Here I am.
Wait, let me get you. Let me find you. There she is. That's Trisha.
Hi.
Oh, good. I'll be excited to meet you.
Same here.
So you guys will get to go cave snorkeling together. It's going to be so
gosh,
fun.
it's so cool. Have you been there
No,
before?
I haven't.
Oh my gosh, it's very cool.
Yeah. So we have 2 single spots left for that trip. If anybody wants to, like, you know, make a split-second decision, and usually I do have people who sign up like the day before or the week before, you could just message me and you're welcome to join us. I did cut the attendance and the participation down so that we could sort of do social distancing, so that we weren't, you know, packed together like we normally are. So if you want to come away with us next weekend for a cave snorkeling, vegan cooking and adventure retreat, you should definitely join us. Nan will be there. Trisha will be there. And then we also have in December redo a retreat with Dr. Patel, and Kathleen will be on that one. Yes, Kathleen. And also Evelyn, who is usually on, she will be there. And who else is on here? Okay, and that's who will be at that retreat. So if you want to come away and have fun and have adventures and cook the food with us, definitely message me about that. So, so like I said, me and Nan are going to cook a few more things that I've already cooked with you in this group before. And if you need help finding the roasted cauliflower or the farro, how to make that, you know, just ask me. I'll tag you in those replay videos. And that's pretty much it for today's cooking, except this last thing I want to show you. Here's my broth bag. This is what Kathleen made her veggie broth out of today. Mine is almost full. This is what's in it. So it's, hold that, don't let me spill it on the floor. So it's all of the onions, that onion heels, the pieces of thyme, the carrots, the little, oops, you can throw it in the sink, the little bits of garlic, all of these things, they go right in this bag and they go in the freezer until it's full. And when it's full, then we dump it in the Instant Pot or a pot on the stove and we can make veggie broth. And I have videos, little quick YouTube videos for both of those things. Anybody who wants that, just ask me, okay? So unmute yourself and tell me if you have any questions for Nan, or you want to ask her anything, or if you can relate to anything that she said.
This is Trisha. Fortunately, I've not been on any of the antidepressants, but right now with COVID, well, I agree also that life is truly ups and downs, right? We've got the mirrors, but with COVID right now and not being as social and being very limited in what we're doing, you know, I find myself too fighting the blues and, you know, just being down more than usual.
Yeah, that makes sense. It is a weird time. And you know what? Your response to all this is normal. Because it is it's a bad time. And I really, you know, this COVID thing, I'd had to wrap my brain around it because,
This is us right here.
oh, okay. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Think about your self-talk, because sometimes I'll be in a certain frame of mind and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you saying to yourself? Because sometimes I don't even realize what I'm saying to myself during these times, or what I need to do for myself. Oh gosh, I'll call a friend all the time, and if they don't answer, I'll call another one. I don't have a lot of friends, but well, the friends I have are awesome. So I do, self-care is just so important. Just whatever you can find to do to lift yourself up.
Trisha, I love that you said that, because I think that all of us are feeling this COVID stress in all kinds of different ways. Some of us feel isolated, some of us feel stifled, some of us feel under pressure from the workload that's happening, and all kinds of different things. So like Nan said, these things are normal.
I'm angry. I am more angry than anything else, because I think it's really interfering in my life. I'm not the traditional kind of person that I'm angry about it. Oh, I don't feel the anger as much as I used to, but I was really angry with it in the first place. I'm hoping that it's going to go away soon.
I also feel anger because I know that a lot of these infections and bacteria are coming from the needless murdering and slaughtering of animals. So there's blood and feces and stuff spewing everywhere when they're slaughtering animals. And that's where it's coming from. They're all zoonotic diseases that come from animals. So when you open up an animal, it comes out. So I'm angry about that.
Mm-hmm.
And you just see everybody at the grocery store and in restaurants, and they're just shoving their faces full of that, not knowing, not understanding. So I get angry for a different reason. So we all have our own reasons. And Tricia, you have made such giant strides in self-care, especially that going outside thing at lunchtime.
Yeah, and Nan touched on that too, and getting outside is super helpful. Even if it's just for 10 minutes.
I hope you don't wear a mask when you go outside.
No.
I just saw a man walking down the street, fresh air, nobody else was around, and he had a mask on, and I just wanted to go and take it off.
Yeah, we don't need to do that when we're not inside with other people. Yeah. So does anybody else have any questions for Nan or want to say anything that you could relate to anything that she said?
Well, it's Jen. Talking about self-care, I've had to learn a very important lesson lately. And it's when you're on a plane and they're talking about safety. Hey, Riley, can you stop for a second? When they're talking about safety and they tell you when your oxygen falls from the top, put on your own mask first before you can take care of others. Yep. And I've had to use that analogy a lot in my life to say, if I'm not taking care of me, I can't take care of everybody else. And you all know I have three kids in the house and 2 older ones, but the 2 littlest ones are foster kids. So it's like, you know, I have to take care of me or I won't be able to take care of them. Mm-hmm. And so that's been a very important lesson for me. So.
Yeah, and kids learn by watching you, not really what you tell them.
And when they watch you take care of yourself, then they know that they should take care of themselves.
Yeah.
So that's being an excellent role model.
I'm still the only one in the house eating plant-based, but they eat bits and pieces along the way. So that's all I can ask.
She's helped you cook. She's tasted things. She said the pumpkin muffins were awesome.
Yes.
And I saw that you made a menu and you incorporated things that different people in the family like, and I see that you're really trying, and that's making a big difference.
Yep, I'm trying.
Has your crew watched Vegucated?
No, we haven't.
Vegucated is a documentary that's available for free on Netflix, which shows 3 different families, one of them with children, who go vegan. And what they think about it, and different reasons for going vegan aside from health, because sometimes kids are not worried about their health. Right. And neither are men. Sometimes men don't care about that.
He doesn't.
Yes. So this is a really neat documentary. It's age appropriate for kids. It doesn't show any kind of, slaughterhouse stuff. So that might be something that would help them understand that other children are thinking these things themselves.
Yeah, we'll check that out. Definitely. Thank you.
Okay. Yep. Does anybody else want to share how they're feeling about COVID or themselves or depression medication or their own plant-based journey?
I just want to say, it's Kathleen, that I've had an anxiety disorder and been on medication for 23 years. And I just went to see Dr. Patel about a month ago, and he told me the reason why I put so much weight on and I can't lose it is because of the medication that I'm on. So it's, it's depressing me. And so I'm trying to wean myself off my medication, but it's been really, really difficult. I've had a hard time.
What medicine is causing your weight gain?
Geodone.
Oh, okay. That's a psych medication.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a psych medication. And I've been on it for 23 years, so it's a long time to be on a medication. So my doctor, when I went to her and said I want to get off it, she told me to, it was kind of drastic what she said, cut it in half the first week and the next week don't take it at all. And I tried it for 2 days and I was crawling out of my skin. And so I've got to go slow, but that's my goal, to go off it, because I've been whole food plant-based since January 6th. And I've only lost 6 pounds, so.
Kathleen, there are extenuating circumstances with some of the reasons for your overeating.
Yeah.
So that's something that you've got to work on, because
Yes.
the whole food plant-based way of eating and all the things that we're cooking here, this is completely fat-free.
Exactly.
If you are eating this way appropriately, you will not be able to not lose weight. Okay, so
Yeah.
and I understand. I know that you did the Beat Emotional Eating Challenge. And I
Right.
know that there's a lot of hurt inside, and so
Yeah.
this is something that you need to keep working on, because this
Yes,
way of eating
absolutely.
will work for you.
Right. No, I'm not giving up. I love this way. I love that I'm learning to cook new ways, and I know that I'm getting healthier, even though the weight is. I'm healthier than I was before, and I feel good.
And
I feel
being
good
really
eating animal.
being really honest with yourself
Right. Exactly.
is
Yeah.
key.
Yes.
And you know, another thing about if you have like a food addiction, do you think you have a food addiction?
Yes.
Okay. You know, that saves people. Addiction saves people, but there's a time to let it go too.
Right.
And it sounds like you're at that turning point.
Yeah, I am. I'm
You
sick
don't
and
need it
tired.
anymore. The time in your life when you formed that addiction, those same circumstances do not apply anymore in your life.
Right. Exactly.
You're in control now.
Right. I'm making better choices. And I
You're in
love my,
charge of all the choices.
right, exactly. And I have courage today, so that's a good thing. Thank you
And
for this.
just talking about it is a way to start making that change, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
When you let it out.
Oh, absolutely. You have to talk about it. And you have to tell yourself that you deserve it. And
Right.
you know, I hope you don't beat yourself up for that or say bad things to yourself, because sometimes we do that. We're our own
believe
worst
me, I
enemy
do.
sometimes.
Right.
I will
Every
tell
time.
you, Nan used to say terrible things to herself.
I did.
Yeah,
It's definitely a journey, that's for sure. It's a journey. So thank you for today. It's been wonderful.
Thank you for sharing that, Kathleen.
Thank you. Yeah.
Does anybody else have anything they would like to say or talk about? Okay. Thank you for sharing your story, Nan. It's not easy to talk about these things that we may feel are private, but part of the healing from obesity and chronic disease is letting go of it, like you said, and letting it out and feeling safe within a small group of women to do so. And that is the kind of thing that we do every single week in that weight loss group. Trisha is a member there. Nan has done it. Evelyn has done it. Patty Layton has done it. And they've all experienced what it feels like when you take control and you take that power back, and you can feel better.
And there's a little mantra that I used to say to myself. And it was just for not beating myself up. Instead of beating myself up, I would say, it's persistence, not perfection. So just keep on keeping on. Keep on, you know, that road that you want to be on.
And that's what we do in this group. We keep cooking the food. We keep learning new things. We keep sharing it with each other. And that's really all we're doing here. So that's it for today's cooking and therapy session. I'm so glad that you came.
Me too.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You. Have a great night. Thank you.
Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Whoops.